What if I told you that a 25-year-old quarterback just changed the entire endorsement game forever? And even his legendary father was left in tears when he found out. This isn't just another shoe deal. This isn't just another athlete cashing in. This is the moment Shedeur Sanders stepped into a completely different stratosphere, as a businessman, as a brand, and as a generational power player. And when Deion Sanders, the iconic Coach Prime himself, posted that emotional reaction video, you could see it in his eyes. This wasn't hype. This wasn't marketing. This was a father realizing his son had just surpassed every expectation anyone ever placed on him. It all started with a cryptic post. No long caption. No breakdown. Just raw emotion and a simple message that something life-changing had happened. Within minutes, speculation exploded across social media. Then the truth dropped like a thunderbolt. Shedeur Sanders had secretly negotiated and signed a historic $250 million lifetime endorsement deal with Jordan Brand, the largest athlete partnership in the company's history outside of Michael Jordan himself. Let that sink in. A lifetime deal. $250 million. Guaranteed money. Equity. Creative control. Executive pathway. Ownership. This wasn't just about wearing sneakers. This was about ownership and legacy. According to reports, the structure of the deal is what truly shocked the sports business world. While the headline number sits at $250 million, insiders suggest the total value could climb significantly higher over time. The foundation includes $150 million in guaranteed payments spread over 15 years, meaning Shedeur locks in $10 million per year regardless of performance, injuries, or market shifts. That alone would be historic. But that's just the beginning. The contract reportedly includes performance incentives tied to championships, MVP-level achievements, and sales milestones. If his signature line reaches projected targets, additional payouts could push the valuation far beyond the initial number. Then comes the revolutionary element, equity stakes. Shedeur isn't just endorsing products. He owns percentages in the revenue streams tied to his name. His signature shoe line. Apparel collections. Future collaborative drops. Instead of collecting royalty crumbs, he's sitting at the ownership table. That changes everything. In past decades, athletes were paid to promote brands. Now, the smartest ones are becoming business partners. Shedeur's agreement reportedly gives him creative input over designs, marketing campaigns, storytelling direction, and even long-term positioning strategy. This isn't a "we're what we tell you" contract. This is partnership in the truest sense. But perhaps the most emotional part of this story isn't the money. It's the secrecy. Sources say negotiations began quietly in late 2024. No leaks. No insider tweets. No rumors floating through sports media. Meetings were private. NDAs were airtight. Even Deion didn't know the full scope of what his son was building behind the scenes. Shedeur wanted to surprise his father once everything was finalized. Imagine that moment. A Hall of Fame father who dominated two professional sports. A cultural icon. A businessman. A brand pioneer in his own right. And then his son walks in with news that he just secured a lifetime partnership with the most iconic basketball brand in history, a brand built by Michael Jordan himself. In his video, Deion's voice reportedly cracked as he said Michael Jordan personally called him to talk about Shedeur joining the family. For a competitor like Deion, that call wasn't just business. It was validation. It was legacy crossing generations. It was proof that his son didn't just ride his name, he built something bigger. Jordan Brand's perspective makes this even more fascinating. For decades, the company has had elite athletes. But finding a generational cultural figure is rare. They see in Shedeur not only football talent, but charisma, composure, style, and cross-generational appeal. He connects with Gen Z consumers. He carries the Sanders legacy while shaping his own identity. He understands branding in the social media era. And he plays the most marketable position in American sports: quarterback. To Jordan Brand, this isn't just a football investment. It's a 20-year cultural bet. And the industry noticed immediately. Athletes across leagues reacted with admiration. Business analysts praised the contract structure. Sports marketing experts called it a blueprint for the future. Because here's the truth. Lifetime deals with equity and creative control were once reserved for once-in-a-century figures. Now, a 25-year-old quarterback just proved that modern athletes can negotiate differently. This deal signals a shift in power. 4 years, brands minimized risk by offering shorter deals heavy on incentives. But this contract shows that when a brand believes in transcendent potential, they're willing to commit long-term capital and share ownership. That opens doors for the next wave of elite athletes to demand more than appearance fees. They can demand seats in boardrooms. And that's why Deion's tears mattered so much. It wasn't about money. It was about independence. It was about watching your child not only succeed but evolve beyond your shadow. It was about seeing Shedeur transform from Prime's son into a legitimate mogul in his own right. Critics once questioned whether Shedeur could separate his identity from his father's spotlight. This deal answers that question emphatically. You don't secure one of the largest lifetime endorsement structures in sports history based on last name alone. You secure it through leverage, marketability, discipline, and vision. Now the bigger question becomes, what does this mean for the future? If Shedeur's signature line hits projected numbers, the equity component alone could multiply exponentially. If he wins at the highest level on the field, his brand valuation skyrockets. If he transitions into an executive role post-career, he could influence Jordan Brand's global strategy for decades. This isn't just generational wealth. This is generational influence. And the ripple effects are already being felt. Young athletes are studying contract language. Agents are rethinking negotiation strategies. Brands are reevaluating long-term commitments. The endorsement era is evolving from sponsorship to partnership. So here's what it really comes down to. Shedeur Sanders didn't just sign a shoe deal. He signed a business blueprint. He negotiated ownership instead of dependency. He secured guaranteed stability while maintaining upside. And he did it quietly, strategically, and professionally. That's power. Now I want to hear from you. Is this the smartest endorsement move we've ever seen from a young athlete? Does equity and creative control represent the future of athlete branding? And has Shedeur officially surpassed even Deion's business legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this conversation is bigger than one contract. It's about the evolution of sports business. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like this video, share it with someone who needs to understand how athlete branding is changing, subscribe for more deep dives into sports business power moves, and comment your opinion right now. Because if this $250 million lifetime Jordan Brand partnership is only the beginning, the next chapter of Shedeur's empire might be even bigger. And here's where the story takes an even more powerful turn, because after the headlines cooled down and the shockwaves settled, the real implications of Shedeur's historic partnership with Jordan Brand started to unfold in ways most people didn't initially recognize. Within days of the announcement, insiders revealed that the first phase of Shedeur's signature rollout was already in motion. Jordan Brand wasn't treating him like just another athlete added to the roster. They were positioning him as a pillar for the brand's next era. Private design sessions were reportedly underway, with Shedeur sitting directly alongside creative directors, product engineers, and marketing executives. This wasn't symbolic involvement. This was hands-on authority. The first signature silhouette, according to early reports, blends classic Jordan DNA with modern quarterback culture. It's performance-driven but lifestyle-focused, designed not just for the field but for everyday wear. That crossover appeal is intentional. Jordan Brand understands that today's athletes aren't just competitors. They're cultural figures. And Shedeur's style, confidence, and presence give him reach far beyond football. But what really caught attention inside the sports business community was the marketing strategy behind his launch. Instead of immediately flooding the market, the brand plans a scarcity-driven drop model. Limited quantities, strategic city launches, exclusive early access for youth athletes, pop-up experiences in football hotbeds. The goal? Build hype organically and position Shedeur's line as aspirational from day one. And here's the deeper layer. This entire campaign is reportedly being built around storytelling, not stats. Jordan Brand's internal philosophy with Shedeur isn't sell touchdowns. It's sell legacy. They're leaning heavily into the narrative of generational excellence, father-to-son evolution, pressure, independence, and business intelligence. The emotional reaction from Deion Sanders is now part of that brand mythology. That clip of a proud father fighting back tears? That's not just viral content. That's brand equity. Meanwhile, the industry is adjusting in real time. Competing companies are quietly reassessing their athlete portfolios. Executives at major sportswear brands are asking one question: who is our Shedeur? Who is the young athlete with enough cultural gravity to justify a lifetime bet? Because that's what this was, a bet on cultural longevity. And here's what makes it even more fascinating. Shedeur's leverage didn't just come from football. It came from positioning. Over the past few years, he's carefully cultivated a polished public image. No reckless controversies. Strong media presence. Smart interviews. Calculated social media strategy. He didn't just play quarterback, he played the long game. That discipline matters when you're negotiating lifetime equity. Sources close to the negotiations say one of the biggest turning points came when Jordan executives realized Shedeur wasn't desperate. He wasn't chasing validation. He wasn't rushing. He was willing to walk away unless the structure reflected partnership, not sponsorship. That patience reportedly shifted the tone of discussions entirely. Think about that. At 25 years old, negotiating from a position of patience and leverage against a global brand. That's rare. And inside the Sanders family, this moment reportedly marked a quiet shift as well. For years, critics framed Shedeur as benefiting from his father's spotlight. But this deal flipped the narrative. Now, the conversation isn't about following Prime's footsteps. It's about building a parallel empire. Some analysts are already projecting that if his on-field performance aligns with brand momentum, this partnership could cross the billion-dollar threshold over its lifetime when equity appreciation is factored in. That's not hype, that's how ownership scales. And here's something even more strategic: the executive pathway written into the contract. Most endorsement deals end when the athlete retires. This one evolves. Shedeur reportedly has a structured option to transition into advisory and leadership roles within Jordan Brand's corporate ecosystem after his playing career. That means long-term boardroom presence, influence over athlete recruitment, impact on brand direction. That's generational positioning. The cultural ripple effect is also undeniable. Young quarterbacks entering college and the NFL are studying this blueprint. Agents are preparing more aggressive equity-based proposals. Parents of elite high school athletes are asking deeper questions about ownership versus upfront cash. The endorsement era is shifting from endorsement to equity. And through it all, the image that keeps resurfacing is Deion's reaction. A father who dominated an era watching his son negotiate the future. That emotional video wasn't staged. It was symbolic. It represented a passing of the torch, not in talent but in business evolution. Now the pressure rises. Because with a deal of this magnitude comes expectation. Sales numbers will be scrutinized. Performance will be magnified. Critics will watch closely for any stumble. Lifetime deals create lifetime headlines. But if Shedeur handles the pressure the way he handled the negotiations, quietly, strategically, patiently, this might just be the beginning of something even bigger. And the real question becomes, what happens if he wins championships on top of this? What happens if the signature line explodes globally? What happens if he transitions into executive leadership before turning 40? That's no longer fantasy. That's trajectory. So now I ask you again, did we just witness the most important endorsement shift of the modern era? Is this the blueprint every elite athlete will try to replicate? And are we watching the birth of the next billion-dollar sports empire in real time? Drop your thoughts below. Let's debate this. And if you're tapped into sports business, branding power moves, and generational legacy stories like this, make sure you like this video. Share it with someone who needs to see how the game is changing, subscribe for more deep breakdowns, and comment your take right now. Because this isn't just about a contract anymore. This is about the future of athlete power. What if I told you that a 25-year-old quarterback just secured a deal so powerful, so unprecedented, that even his legendary father was moved to tears, and the entire sports business world had to stop and recalibrate? This isn't just another endorsement headline. This isn't just another athlete signing with a sneaker company. This is a generational shift in power, ownership, and legacy. When Shedeur Sanders finalized his historic $250 million lifetime partnership with Jordan Brand, he didn't just secure a bag, he secured influence, equity, and a seat at a table most athletes never even get invited to. And when Deion Sanders, Coach Prime himself, posted that emotional reaction video with his voice cracking and his eyes red from tears, you could instantly tell this moment was bigger than money. This was legacy evolving in real time. Reports indicate that the deal includes $150 million in guaranteed payments over the first 15 years alone, providing unmatched financial security regardless of performance fluctuations, injuries, or market shifts. On top of that, incentive structures tied to performance milestones, championship achievements, and global sales targets could push the total valuation well beyond the initial $250 million headline figure. But the most revolutionary component isn't the guaranteed money, it's the equity. Shedeur reportedly secured ownership stakes in the products that carry his name, meaning he's not just collecting royalty checks. He's participating in long-term profit streams. If his signature line scales globally, the upside becomes exponential. That is a fundamental difference between endorsement and partnership. Historically, athletes were paid to wear logos. In this structure, Shedeur becomes part of the business engine itself. Even more striking is the reported level of creative control built into the agreement. He isn't simply being handed pre-designed shoes and told to promote them. He has input on product design, marketing narratives, rollout strategies, and brand positioning. That level of authority reflects trust. And trust at that level only comes when a brand sees you as a long-term cornerstone. To understand why this matters, you have to look at how athlete endorsements have traditionally worked. Shorter-term deals. Heavy performance incentives. Limited creative say. Minimal ownership. Brands protected themselves from risk. But this lifetime structure signals a different philosophy. Jordan Brand isn't renting Shedeur's image, they're investing in his trajectory for decades.